I am so excited that I had my customers and they listened to me go ahead and get their pre-approval letter rather than just a pre-qualification letter, because there's going to be multiple offers on this house. We're ready to go. Not so sure you know exactly what the differences is in those two? Oh gosh, you need to know. Let's go grab some coffee and talk about it. Welcome back. What is a pre-approval letter? What is a pre-qualification letter? What is the differences and why am I making such a big deal out of this? It's probably the difference in you getting the home of your dreams and missing out on the home of your dreams. If you're new to my channel, I am Susan Thetford. I'm a realtor with the Parks Properties here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. I'm also a 35-year career realtor and one of the very few native Nashvillians. So I know a thing or two about Nashville. Here on this channel, you will find all things about my favorite 7 Nashville communities, talk about right-sizing your homes, and also talk about legacy property, inheritance properties. If these are topics that would be of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell, that notification. You will get an email every time a new video drops so that you don't miss a thing. Okay, so why is it that your realtor insists that you get a pre-qualification or a pre-approval letter before you even start looking for homes? Let's consider this. Many times, first 5, 6, 7 homes we look at, even in the very first day, someone may find the perfect home for them, but they're not prepared to make the offer. It may take 4 homes, it may take 44 homes to see it, but you need to be prepared to make that offer in a very timely fashion, especially in the market where it's a seller's market. You need to be ready with all guns blazing to be able to make an offer, and that pre-approval or pre-qualification letter is a piece of that offer. Why do you need that letter to be a part of an offer? Why is that so important? You want the seller to take your offer seriously. You may be in a competitive market, you may not be, but your seller needs to know that you're very serious about making that offer because they're considering taking it off the market for you to try to buy it and get a loan for it. You want the seller to take it very, very seriously. And besides that, you don't want to be in for heartache. If you think you can afford some price and you find that you can really afford $70,000 less because you didn't realize that that car payment is still on your credit report, don't set yourself up for heartache. So what is the difference between a pre-qualification letter and a pre-approval letter? The pre-qual letter can be actually done over the phone with a mortgage professional, and it's going to give you a snapshot that you're going to actually take and offer the snapshot of your stated income, your stated debts, your stated salary. It's going to take a snapshot of the things that you tell them, and then he will be able to give you a snapshot of what you can afford based on stated information. A pre-approval letter has gone light years ahead of that because that stated information that you gave is now verified. So your salary will be verified with your employer. The credit report will be run and checked with the appropriate channels. Your debts will be checked. Your bank statements will be checked. It's a host of things that will be necessary for a loan to be approved and closed so that you buy that home. And everything for a pre-approval has been verified, has been checked. It's the difference between your child telling you he's done his homework and he did a great job on it. It's the difference between that and he telling you he did a great job on it, and you going back and you checking that homework and you say, yeah, you did do a great job. Yeah, my kids hate my analogies. Works for me. So let's take a look at it from the seller's point of view. Let's pretend I'm the seller. I have a home on the market for $500,000. I get an offer from one of my favorite realtors, and that offer is for $500,000, and along with it comes a really beautifully written pre-qualification letter. That's a good offer. price is perfect, is what I'm asking for. The closing and everything I've asked for is perfect. But I get another offer in, similar, same day, $490,000. And that offer comes accompanied with a pre-approval letter. That pre-approval letter is from a lender that I know well who is local, and the people have sat down with that lender and they've gone through everything because that pre-approval letter says, look, they're golden. Which of those two offers do you think I'm going to probably, one, maybe accept, or two, maybe counter? In that situation, this is a multiple offer situation. I, the seller, I'm probably, because I know I have two people who really want that house, I'm going to suggest to my seller, if I'm his agent, let's counter the offer for $490,000. Susan, you're crazy. That's $10,000 less. Why in the world would I counter a $10,000 less offer? Because you have two people who want the house, and you have one that's a much stronger offer. You can offer whenever you want. I want these people to be able to close on that house and have their money and get on with their life and do their thing. That $490,000 is the counter that I would like to make a counter on. See if we can't get them up higher because they have a pre-approval letter. It's as good as done once we can negotiate a little bit higher on the numbers. Which one do you want to be? The person in the stronger position? Many, many times, the dollar figure on the original offer is not the most important piece of an offer. A seller wants to know that once a contract is negotiated and finalized, once the repairs and inspection report has been done, negotiated for the repair work, and completed, once the bills are all paid for those repairs, once that appraisal is done and the prices come in correctly, those are the things that an owner wants to have the confidence in knowing, and they don't want to be worried about the fact, can you, the buyer, actually perform on what you said you could perform? Then and only then, with that kind of confidence, does the seller want to move forward with you, their buyer. And that confidence only comes with a pre-approval letter. They know with that pre-approval letter and then all the rest of those hoops that have to be jumped past, they have the confidence to know that this will probably close. They can go ahead and order that moving truck. They can be on their way, and everybody's going to be happy. So put yourself in the very best standing possible. You're going to have to provide it anyway. That's the difference in a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification. And heaven forbid you show up with an offer and you've not done either one. That just doesn't make sense. If this is the kind of information that's very helpful to you, please, I do advise you to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss a thing, because I drop a new video every single week. If you're interested in all things Nashville real estate, then this is the place to be. I'll see you next week. And as always, I hope the day has a great you.